Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Urban Spokesman. My name is Chris Sanders, and I'm giving micromobility users the news they need to stay up to speed on micromobility and urban infrastructure in New York City. All right, first up, we have Mayor Eric Adams watering down the remaining McGuinness Boulevard safety redesign. So, as you know, 2021, a teacher was killed by a car that crashed into the teacher in that neighborhood in Brooklyn. So that's what happened. And de Blasio said that he would devote $39 million to redesigning McGuinness Boulevard in Brooklyn, except he wasn't able to do it. And then Eric Adams won the election, and then he was going to do it. He said he was going to be the bike mayor, one of the many lies he told. And so basically, what we have now is Broadway Stages comes in, donates $15,000 to Eric Adams, and as a result, the safety redesign is getting watered down by Eric Adams. So originally they were going to cut down the 4-lane street to 2 lanes going in either direction for cars, and then they were going to devote space to cyclists by giving them a parking protected bike lane. They are no longer giving the cyclists a parking protected bike lane. Instead, they have watered that down to simply some bollards, those plastic bollard strips that anyone can just kind of drive through or drive over. That's what we've got. So on August 20th, after the new redesign was revealed, several of the city council members got together and drafted a letter. And what they say here is that on August 20th, Adams' administration revealed its plan for the McGuinness Boulevard redesign. Congresswoman Nadia Velasquez, public advocates Jumaane Williams, Comptroller Brad Lander, Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso, State Senators Kirsten Gonzalez and Julia Salazar, Assemblymember Emily Gallagher, and Council Members Lincoln Ressler and Jennifer Gutierrez released the following statement. Greenpoint residents have demanded Mayor Adams finally address the deadly conditions on McGuinness Boulevard and make our community safer, but he ignored us. After repeatedly changing his mind and undermining DOT's evidence-based design, Mayor Adams is going forward with a plan that fails Greenpoint by preserving the most dangerous elements of this roadway that runs through the middle of our community. We will not stop fighting until we successfully prioritize the safety of our neighbors above all else. That is the statement they made. So we'll see what happens there going forward. Mayor Adams, it's never too late. You can be wrong. It's never too late to be right. All right. Well, at least we hope, for the sake of everyone. Next up, we have 6th Avenue redesign. Yes, it is finally happening. 6th Avenue is getting redesigned with protective bike lanes going from Lispenard all the way up to West 13th Street. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, New York City DOT will be installing a protected bike lane on the east curb between Lispenard and Houston Street. Then it's going to install a protected bike lane on the west curb between Houston Street and West 8th Street. They're going to construct bus boarding islands between Lispenard and King Street, widen the protected bike lane between West 8th Street and 13th Street. This is wonderful news for those of us who ride our bikes, and when we're coming from downtown and we have to use 6th Avenue, we won't be just stuck in that 20 block stretch there with, you know, no bike lane, complete total road chaos. So DOT has been see this, here's the map, and finally DOT is getting it done. I noticed today or yesterday when I rode up that they had started removing some of the stripings so they could put down the new stripings and the new bike lane, protected bike lane design. This is wonderful. So you can see here on the map that this is what it looks like. It's glorious. I mean, look at that stretch. It's quite a bit of bike lane there. We're very happy to see it finally connecting the dots. I have to give Eric Adams credit for that, even though it's still not the commitment that he made. It is something. All right, next up, Queens Boulevard, Skillman to Roosevelt Avenue. Yes, that is getting done also. So what we have here, we've got, we're adding a new protected bike lane. So if you've never ridden in Queens, you will know that the bike lane ends at Skillman, and another new bike lane begins at Queens Boulevard and Roosevelt Avenue. So what that means is you have that big gap in between there with no protected bike lane at all, and now DOT is going to fix that. Good for DOT. Good for your Donis Rodriguez. Get it done. All right, New York DOT will implement street safety improvements on the Vision Zero priority corridor of Queens Boulevard between Skillman Ave and Roosevelt Ave. So what they're going to do, they're going to install protected bike lanes on Queens Boulevard from Skillman Ave to Roosevelt Ave. They're going to install painted pedestrian islands at crosswalks across Queens Boulevard. They're going to remove rush hour regulations on Queens Boulevard. They're going to provide new loading zones for deliveries on Queens Boulevard and increase dedicated pedestrian walk time for crossing Queens Boulevard. We love to see it. Queens will not be ignored any longer on street safety. So let's see what that looks like on the map. All right, here we go. This is what it looks like on the map. You can see that blue line there on Queens Boulevard going from Skillman to Roosevelt Avenue from west to east, or if you want to look at it from east to west, from the right, it's there. So this is wonderful news. We applaud DOT. Next up, we have Bedford Ave from Dean Street to Flushing Avenue. New York Department of Transportation will implement safety improvements along Bedford Avenue between Dean Street and Flushing Avenue. They're going to upgrade the buffered bike lane to a protected bike lane along the west curb. Now, the barrier protected bike lane between Dean Street and Halsey Street, and then they're going to do a parking protected bike lane between Halsey Street and Flushing Avenue. Now, if you've been in Brooklyn, you know Flushing Avenue has that beautiful, beautiful bike lane there. Love it. Love it. It is glorious. So they're also going to install painted pedestrian islands to increase visibility and shorten the crossing distances. Then they're going to reduce vehicular speeding by narrowing the roadway, increasing safety for all road users. All travel lanes will be maintained. They're going to install new loading zones to accommodate curbside activity. All right, that is wonderful news. We love to see it. You know what? If you guys like this type of content, you know what? Go on ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the Urban Spokesman channel. We love to see it. We want to have a conversation with you. So let's take a look at what this looks like on the map. So here you see this is what it looks like in Brooklyn on the map. So at the top you have Flushing Avenue. At the bottom, you have Dean Street there. So this is, wait. Make sure I have that right. Yep, that's correct. All the way on Bedford Avenue. So this is, yeah, here we are. So now we had Citi Bike about a week ago announcing that it has only been a week since their last record-breaking day. So they announced on Twitter that they broke the record for the number of Citi Bike rides in a single day. They say, it's only been a week since our last record-breaking day, and fam, you have knocked it out of the park. 2 more records since then. On Tuesday, we had 189,265 rides in one day, and then yesterday, you all rode 193,545 times. At this rate, Citi Bike can definitely make it to 200K one day soon. Wow, that is a wonderful news. And you know what? It's amazing that everybody's riding Citi Bike. It is extremely useful, extremely helpful. We love to see it. I see everybody out there. Every type of person is riding Citi Bike in New York City. Now we have Chuck Schumer. We have some news from the federal government. Yes, the federal government, our own senator from New York, Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, one of my favorite politicians. We love Chuck Schumer. So he has just secured the largest federal grant for bike infrastructure in New York history. That is wonderful. We will hopefully finally catch up to the modern world and have a vital and active bike network. So what it's going to do, he says, is it's going to link the greenways on the east and west side of Manhattan in Inwood. So basically right now you have a very beautiful Hudson pathway on the west side of Manhattan. And technically it goes all the way up the west side. Granted, the top half of it on the west side is kind of not as good as the bottom half of it on the west side. And then on the east side, it's very patchy and patchwork, and it's not as usable. So what they're going to do is they're going to make it so that it goes all the way around the island. So apparently my representative, Adrian Espaillat, is also someone to be thanked here, and Yadanis Rodriguez and the New York City Department of Transportation, and all of you activists, all of you guys showing up to the community board meetings, to the city council meetings, protesting, doing whatever you can in favor of safe street infrastructure for pedestrians and cyclists. You know, with this grant, cyclists will now be able to ride around the entire island of Manhattan, and presumably you'll also be able to walk around the entire island of Manhattan without being rammed into by cars and other vehicles. So this is wonderful news. Thank you, Chuck Schumer. Thank you, Adrian Espaillat, New York City Department of Transportation. And of course, Yadanis Rodriguez getting it done again. Woo! All right. So now we have an update on 10th Avenue. As you know, 10th Avenue has gotten beautiful new protected bike lanes. 10th Avenue in Manhattan has gotten beautiful new protected bike lanes. Thank you, Eric Botcher. Thank you, Community Board. Thank you, everybody. Eric Botcher really pushed hard for this, and we love to see it. Oh, if he was my council member, I would click vote, but he won't be my council member. But you know what? I'm happy to support him anyway, in any way I can. And yeah, so here we are. So now 10th Avenue is going to have these islands here that pedestrians can use when they want to cross the street. So older people will be able to seek refuge on them. When they can't cross that full street, it's like four, or if you count parking, it's like 4 or 5 lanes easily of car related traffic and parking. And this will, you know, they can cross the first half, and then it's easier to cross the bike lane, because, you know, bikes just go right through and they don't back up in traffic. So we love to see this, and we love it when it's concrete. Concrete is real hard infrastructure, much better than paint. You know, some people online say that paint is not protection. Well, concrete is a lot better protection. It's not 100%, nothing's 100%, but this is great. Thank you, Eric Botcher, New York City Dot, everybody involved. All right, let me know what you think about all of these new developments, and trust me, I've got at least 2 more that I haven't gotten to yet, but this is great. We are making progress. We love progress. We love to see it. And yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel.